Delaware Valley. And if you need a lift truck, why not rent a new one from Yale? Give them a call and save. Yale Industrial Trucks, Delaware Valley. Phone 657-0600. That's area code 215-657-0600 if you would like to rent a Yale lift truck, courtesy of Yale Industrial Trucks. And did you hear all that noise, Phil Sheridan? That told us something right there.
You better believe it.
Before we see the string bands, Frank and 40, I understand that the Mummers Museum float just passed us by.
That's right, Connie. A reminder to everyone, the Mummers Museum, the fund drive is still going on, and donations can be sent care of the Central Penn National Bank, block box number 7588, Philadelphia 19101, and we thank you for your support. The Mummers Museum will be open April of '76. Well, we hear loud shouting. The Mayor Rizzo's coming around, the Furco String Band's coming around, and the entire Mummers String Band division is coming around.
And the mayor is coming around.
That's right, waving to the crowd as he's standing there in his car and drawing a big hand and applause from everybody. We might just mention, while we're waiting for Furco to come into range here, that last year the South Philadelphia String Band was the #1 band, followed by Greater Kensington, then Furco, Garden State, Harrogate, Fralinger, Dick Green, Palmyra, Quaker City, and Hageman in the top 10. Where will they be this year? Well, nobody knows, but we know that it's time for the great Philadelphia String Bands, and that's the thing that we're all waiting for. And don't forget our show of shows that is coming up at the end of this month. We're going to be having out at Convention Hall the 16 great Philadelphia string bands. And if you want to see the string bands in color, in comfort, why, come on out to Convention Hall and join us. Tickets can be had from any string band member.
And there he is, leading off this string band, Mayor Frank L. Rizzo. Happy to be with everybody on this day.
Let's not forget Managing Director Hillard Levinson, Commissioner Robert Crawford, Department of Recreation.
Well, I would say that this has been just an absolutely wonderful parade so far, Connie, wouldn't you?
I do, and I think the spirit has been felt by all of the spectators here. I hope that you have felt it at home as well, as we presented it to you since 9 a.m. this morning. 22 string bands upcoming, and that, to many people, is the highlight of the Philadelphia Mummers Parade.
And Connie, what better way could we lead off our great Philadelphia string bands than with the Furco String Band, the champion prize winner of all time, and their Spirit of '76 as their theme. President Frank Speeder, Vice President Alec V. Lind, and Captain, of course, Joseph H. Blass, Jr.
And listen to the crowd.
Listen to the crowd cheer as Furco comes down the street with their Spirit of '76. The theme will be carried out in music and presentation by paying homage to our servicemen and women who nobly defended our country from the Revolution to the most recent conflicts. The musical presentation will include All-American Girl, What's More American, Yankee Doodle, American Patrol, Battle Hymn of the Republic, You're a Grand Old Flag, and a patriotic medley.
Their costumes are unique in design. The back pieces follow bicentennial logo surrounded by 4 dozen white ostrich plumes. Of the suit is in red, blue, and silver eyelash, trimmed with gold and silver sequins, tastefully complemented by circular mirrors. The captain's costume follows the same theme, however, is presented much more lavishly. Captain Joseph H. Blass, Jr., the first of the 22 string bands, the Furco String Band, and their theme, the Spirit of '76.
And Connie and Phil, this marks Furco's 54th march up Broad Street.
Here we go. Here comes Furco.
crowd, the Joseph Berko String Band, and they have considered it a distinct honor to be in a position to lead the string band division in this, the bicentennial year.
And what a great beginning. Coming up next, we have the Fralinger String Band and their bicentennial production, The Birth of American Music. And in this, Connie, we're going to have a salute to all of the different eras of American music, the minstrels, Dixieland, swing, and winding up with the rock. In the costumes, we'll be back in just a moment with Mummers 76 and Fralinger String Band. And there is Fralinger just winding up with the sound of Philadelphia. And in their presentation, the 64 bandsmen and the captain appear in full traditional costumes of Philadelphia mummery. This is going to be a beautiful presentation, beginning with The Birth of the Blues.
And Captain Fred Calandra.
presentation, The Birth of American Music, by the Freilinger String Band with Captain Fred Calandra, and our congratulations to Freilinger for a memorable presentation. Connie, I'm just glad of one thing. I am not a judge.
Oh, I agree. It is a difficult decision for the judges to make. The sound of the string bands is overwhelming on Mummers Day, but when you combine the sound of the string bands with the modern music, it's really reaching the spectators today.
It covered the whole spectrum, and that's the thing I like.
Upcoming now, of course, the Overbrook, Greater Overbrook String Band, theme of Showtime 76.
Now, they're going to be playing such tunes as Yellow Bird, Yes We Have No Bananas, Mary Ann, the Limbo, and the Spear Dance. And the drill flies us to a carnival with Yellow Bird in the front line. Whoops.
No, we're talking about the... And the presentation is designed to fit in with their theme. They're doing some movements that you'll see apropos of their songs, and is their custom. An entire routine is built and has been built around their co-captain, Jimmy Dryden. Jimmy is also celebrating his 25th year with the band, and this is his 6th year as the marching captain.
And we want to send a word of greeting, of course, to our good friend, Captain Harry Straub, the chairman of the board. We're going to hear such tunes as Another Opening, Another Show, Everything's Coming Up Roses, The Entertainer, Fine and Dandy, No Business Like Show Business, and If My Friends Could See Me Now, and That's Entertainment. Yes, sir, the Greater Overbrook String Band marching into the judging area for another great performance, and aren't they beautiful costumes?
They're absolutely beautiful. Their back piece is measuring 9 feet in diameter. A starburst of gold, also employing the basic colors of pink satin, black velvet, and purple metallic eyelash. The Greater Overbrook String Band, their Showtime 76 theme, waiting now to begin their presentation for the judge's decision. The third in the line of 22 string bands.
And you know, Captain Jimmy Dryden is always a captain noted for his sensational costumes. Jimmy has won first prize a couple of times. He's always up in among the top 10. And now they're ready to go with their presentation for 1976, Showtime 76, with slapstick and everything. The band's formation will be a stage. beautiful presentation indeed. And ladies and gentlemen, we want to remind you that if you want a souvenir of this year's string band performances, we have for you the Best of the Mummers Philadelphia String Band Annual Musical Salute. This is the 15th annual musical salute featuring 15 of our great string bands with 85 beautiful tunes. The special price, the 2-record set, only $6.98, tape only $7.98. And to order, send your checker money order to 1976 String Bands, Post Office Box 94, Broomall, Pennsylvania 19008. $6.98 for records, $7.98 for tapes. The Philadelphia String Bands. And don't forget our show of shows at the Civic Center, February 21st, 22nd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 28th, and 29th. For tickets, contact your favorite string band. We'll be back with more of the String Bands and Mummers 76 in a moment.
After 4 p.m. in the afternoon, it is still the 1976 Mummers Parade. Now you're seeing the Greater Bucks County String Band with their theme, Carnival Trinidad, Captain Jacob Ergod Jr. Greater Bucks County String Band with their theme carnival, Trinidad. I hope you were watching that on color because their costumes were of the brightest oranges and blacks and green plumage. And more string bands, Uncle Philzy.
You bet. We've got the Ukrainian Americans coming up next, Connie. And they always have a wonderful theme, and I know that we're going to enjoy their presentation for 1976.
The Ukrainian American String Band was formed in 1948 and appeared in its first Mummers Parade January 1st, 1949. And this year the band is presenting its theme, Happy Birthday, USA. The costumes made of yellow cerise and blue satin trimmed in sequins and mirrors and the traditional white marabou.
Now the captain and the members form a large cake. They sing and play Happy Birthday, followed by fun and dancing. We'll hear music such as Strike Up the Band, Sing, Happy Birthday, Cabaret, Alley Cat, and My Baby Polka. Each member wears a back piece that represents a portion of a cake with a large candle on it. The captain's costume is the center of the cake, around which the members form in 2 other layers. The captain is Walter Prince, marching for his 5th year as captain, having succeeded Captain Walter Kropp, who passed away in March 1971. Musical director Phil Prince, marching 25 years, all with the same band, and drill master is Frank Ganton. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here they come down the street, drawing a big hand from the crowd. A beautiful captain's cape coming into view here.
As you mentioned, Phil, the captain is going to be the center of the cake, as I understand it.
That's right.
Again, a novel presentation, as have all of them been today on this bicentennial Mummers Parade. The lights have been turned on here at our location.
So we'll see the bands in daylight conditions, which is just wonderful, thanks to nice dedicated people like Bill Russell and all the crew that have worked so hard setting all this equipment up. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're waiting for Bill Hall down there to give the signal. He's dropped the flag, and here they come, the Ukrainian American String Band. Walter Prince. You know, Connie, I think that's one of the best presentations of the Ukrainian-American string band we've seen on Broad Street. They always do a great job, but this one was just kind of extra special.
I think, Phil, that every Mummers group today, the comics, the fancies, every Mummer has made a special attempt, because this is our bicentennial and a very special year for Philadelphia. The Duffy String Band, next with a tribute to Hank Williams. And that is the presentation for this bicentennial year by the Duffy String Band. A tribute to Hank Williams and the music he made, which has become a part of our American heritage.
As you know, Connie, Hank Williams is the image of country music in America. The words and music that poured out of this star-crossed troubadour is a wealth of musical Americana. He had a way of saying what other men could only think deep in their hearts, as he wrote and sang about the teardrops, the cold hearts, the lonesome days, the honky-tonkin' nights of broken love.
And so it is really fitting that on this New Year's Day of 1976, actually 23 years after Hank Williams has passed away, that a tribute is paid to him and to his music here on Broad Street in Philadelphia. You see the bandsmen coming around the hall now, and as they approach and are a little bit closer, you'll be able to see that they are truly handsomely dressed in Western-type costumes.
The trousers will be light tan, trimmed on the side with gold sequins. The shirt will be of green satin, open at the throat, and a black kerchief will be worn around the neck. Each man will wear an oyster white Stetson hat. The headpiece will be covered with rich gold satin, trimmed with sequins, turkey feathers, and topped with 50 white plumes. Captain Henry Kunzig Sr. will be resplendent in his white velvet and satin Western-type costume, similar to that was worn by Hank Williams, and of course he'll be wearing the white Stetson hat. The suit will be trimmed in multicolored sequins, the headpiece brilliant gold satin trimmed with multicolored sequins, and the entire headpiece topped with over 250 white plumes. We'll hear all of the Hank Williams music, such as Hey Good Lookin', Cold Cold Heart, You Win Again, You're Cheatin' Hard, I Can't Help It, and of course the great Jambalaya. Connie, while the band is moving down here into the judges' position, how about giving a word of congratulations for a great job to our great WPVI TV crew?
I think we should, since we do have the time to do it, to our cameraman, Hank Latvin, Gene Fagan, Steve Sachs, Bill Friel, to Bob Howard, Freddie Bell, Herb Kirshner, working in our mobile truck, George Hughes, Bill Russell, who has been our floor man and lighting man, who has really lit the street for us all today, Joe Terry, our director, who has done a fantastic job directing this Mummers Parade.
This was Joe's first parade, I understand.
Yes, and to Walt Ballou, who is our operations supervisor, Tony Oskopinski, and other television cameramen, to all involved working for and with WPVI to give this presentation to all of you at home, and we hope that you have enjoyed it, Phil.
And you know, we have to remember that these fellas not only set this up today, they set it up yesterday, and they set it up Thursday, because we never know each time that whether the parade is going to go or not.
They started setting it up Wednesday afternoon, as a matter of fact.
Wednesday afternoon.
It's like taking a television studio onto the street, which is a little more difficult to do. And now we have been awaiting the Duffy String Band. It is a tribute to Hank Williams, Captain Henry Kunzig Sr. Getting into position now to bring you more of the great Hank Williams music, which is really my favorite. And it's a little bit of a departure. We've been giving the bicentennial themes and the Americana colors, but here is bicentennial without those colors.
And here comes Duffy.
String Band, and there's more of Philadelphia 76 Mummers upcoming after these messages.
And number 6 in our line of march is the Dick Crean String Band, and their theme, Mummers Parade in Heaven. And Captain Frank Beatty is going to portray, I guess, the Great White Father, and their costumes in beautiful shades of blue. And let's listen to their presentation, the Dick Crean String Band.
let me ask you, I saw names of various captains of other string bands.
Right.
Carried by members of the Duffy String Band.
I mean the Dick Crean String Band.
I mean the Dick Crean.
Yeah, these are the captains of string bands that have passed on. And this was a tribute to the marching captains of the string bands who have died over the years.
Very fine salute done by the Dick
very
Green.
beautiful
Yes,
salute, and it certainly drew a beautiful reaction from the crowd. And coming up next now, we have the Harrogate String Band, ladies and gentlemen.
they have a great theme this year, Phil.
They certainly do.
It's called We're Moving On, USA, which is exactly what's happening as we begin our... Actually, we're beginning our 201st year when you think about it.
That's right. And through those 200 years, of course, we saw the rise of the Great American Railroad when the nation emerged from obscurity and its expression was served by the great steam engines, the locomotives, the running rails, and the gathering dreams. And this is the presentation coming up with the great Harrogate String Band.
I think you're going to have to hold your hat on this one. Not too sure, because the bandsman's costume are representing really the backbone of our nation's early years. You're going to see the steam locomotive complete with a cow catcher, which I've never heard about before.
And
you know what a cow catcher is?
I certainly do. And that's the costume of each member of the band, and then the captain's cape, it looks like, is the full-size locomotive, which is a very different presentation.
Yards and yards of turkey feathers and velvet and dozens of plumes and mirrors, complicated by conductors, as you've seen on the train posts,
sure.
Lavishly attired in silver eyelash just to set the stage. So it is beginning our country's bicentennial celebration. Harrogate String Band asking you to turn back with them through the 200 years to the rise of the great American railroad.
And Connie, we're going to be hearing music like Alabama Bound, Take the A Train, I've been working on the railroad, America the Beautiful, California Here I Come, Night Train, Chattanooga Choo Choo, and Toot Toot Tootsie Goodbye.
Again, it's a novel bicentennial approach and theme, and the Mummers have done very well in not duplicating. We must congratulate them here. As they turn around, there's the front of the locomotive with 76.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here comes the railroad.
Captain, of course, is going to depict old number 1. crowd really loving the Harrogate String Band. Tell you something that might be of interest to you. Joseph W. Fries appeared as captain for the first time, and also under the watchful eyes of his grandfather, Pop Fries, 83 years young. And I'm sure Pop Fries, 83 years young, very proud of the work of the Harrogate String Band, and his grandson today, Joseph W. Fries, as captain.
And now, Connie, coming up next, we have the Palmyra String Band from Berlin, New Jersey. Captain Charlie Molnar, musical director Jim Butts, and drill master Dan Moeller. Their theme is the birth of Broad Street. And we're going to see 64 members strong, including the mayor of Berlin, Sam Lichtman. And we're going to hear such tunes as A Hot Time in the Old Town Tonight, Here Comes the String Band, Alabama Jubilee, Golden Slipper, and That's the Way It Was.
And you know, Phil, I think something's going to happen because they are keeping it a secret from the judges at this point, with the panels of red and white, and not moving them as yet until they begin their actual presentation. They want it to be a surprise not only for our television cameras, but for all of you at home, and of course uppermost the judges who are just below us right now. We rarely see this happen.
Right. Now the bodysuit of red and blue velvet, white double knit polyester, and red, white, and blue harlequin satin trimmed with double width red pinstripe lace, single and double layered gold sequins and gold acetate mirrors and white marabou.
And there's lots of noise behind those red and white panels, and they still won't show us what's happening. Now it begins, the Palmyra String Band.
And we're talking about the birth of Broad Street. There they go, the Palmyra String Band, ladies and gentlemen, and a beautiful presentation. And Connie, you may be interested to know that the panels that formed Broad Street is an authentic reproduction of what it was back in the old days. And of course, I know that our folks out there at home heard the old familiar chant, "Here we stand before your door, and give us whiskey, give us gin, open the door and let us in," which is what they did back in the beginning.
That's right.
And
a great deal of stage presentations being done in the...
Here also, Stars and Stripes Forever, Celebrate, Yankee Doodle Dandy, This Is My Country, all patriotic themes as we salute Philadelphia 76 and America's bicentennial. And you can hear the crowd cheering their favorite with Captain Jimmy Donaghy and the South Philadelphia String Band.
Can they do it again this year?
I don't know. Let's watch their presentation and see.
with more of Mummers 1976. Judges stand the Quaker City String Band. And on this city's bicentennial celebration, the Quaker City String Band bids a most warm and cordial welcome to all of you and to the foreign dignitaries who'll be making visitations throughout our community during this, the birthday of the melting pot of the world.
Now the band, consisting of 60 musicians, will be attired with blue velvet jacket with puff shoulders and sleeve within a sleeve that gives a three-dimensional effect. And this is going to be trimmed in white lace and with instruments. There's silver satin brocade on the shoulders and the sleeves and the chest. Captain Bob Shannon, that's Big Bob Shannon, all 6'7" of him, will be lavishly attired as the symbol of peace. His costume consists of blue and white velvets with many yards of turkey feathers and jewels. His headpiece depicts the world as we know it. There is a change being made at all times in the suit, and the headpiece will surprise and delight the crowd and the judges.
Bill, Bob Shannon is the tallest of the Mummers, as I understand.
He is the biggest we've ever had.
Welcomes the world, the Quaker City String Band. Quaker City String Band and Phil Sheridan That was quite a change in costuming, done right before the judge's eyes, done by Bob Shannon, the tallest of the mummers.
That's going to be a big contender for the captain's prize. That much I'm absolutely sure.
We mentioned that he was the tallest of the mummers, and we have seen, or we will have seen, by the time this parade ends, 22,504 mummers, as I understand
something
it.
like the Aqua String Band. Ladies and gentlemen, the presentation of the great Aqua String Band with Captain Ed Top Hat Ruffles and Gliss type typifies the scheme. The roses and plumes are used to set off an elegant background, starting from the blue of the water up to the top of the wheelhouse. And the Captain Ralph Anello's costume is a glorified riverboat captain's suit His back piece will be a ship's wheel trimmed with 400 white ostrich plumes. And we're going to hear all of the great old riverboat melodies. Old Man Rivers, Swanee, Waiting for the Robert E. Lee, Here Comes the Showboat. And where it all is at is on the riverboat with the Garden State String Band.
And the costumes looking truly traditionally mummers costumes.
Yes,
with
indeed.
The pantaloons and the back pieces and the shoulder pieces and the pinks and the greens, and it is all much color here as the sun has left us and darkness is just about here. The lights on around City Hall.
But you would never know it as far as the lighting here, because we've got daylight to bring you this beautiful presentation in color of the Garden State String Band. Garden State String Band, Captain Ralph Finello, and the old Riverboat music theme there.
They didn't turn their backs on the judges till the last minute there, Phil Sheridan. And we have been presenting the 1976 Mummers, going to refer back to the days of yesteryear when a Sunday walk was not only fashionable, my dear, but very economical.
That's right.
Then they bring you back into the present day of our modern jet age transportation system, and Avalon will be playing such transit favorites as Old-Fashioned Walk, Wagon Wheel, Take a Train, Mary Oldsmobile, and Jet Plane. And of course, as Phil Sheridan mentioned, Jimmy Young Sr. as captain, along with his men dressed in shimmering reflections of mirror, sequins trimmed in boa and turkey feathers. And they all wish also to give a very special tribute to Ed, Gary, and Mel, and also to Ben and Bob of the Philadelphia Costume Company, who have helped them out tremendously. And that's nice of them to salute the costumers.
That's for sure. And now here comes Jimmy Young and the men of Avalon with their salute to 200 years of American transportation. They're lined up, they're ready to go, they're waiting for the starting flag to fall. They'll march in to have their big moment here. They're 4 minutes in front of the judges to try for those prizes that really don't begin to pay for what it's all about, but this is the way that the Mummers are.